Its ephemeral veins freeze the whispers of passing days, and like a phantom drifting with the whispers of the wind in an impermanent stream, it melts the fleeting glimmer and eventually crystallizes. This is a miracle of unity between the contradiction of existence and beauty. As the ancient forest tells us, the shadowy leaves become solitary trails, capturing the shadows and light creeping up from beyond distant memories, and the layers of time that overlap, filled with the voices of unseen fragments of emotion, are woven into a single crystal in a solemn and soft manner. The crystals reflect the passion of the present moment and the unknown dreams that continue into the future and intersect with our own inner elasticity. Shadows like veins in a leaf trace the vicissitudes of existence. It is in the moment of collusion with darkness that light imparts its contours. Shadow is the insider of light and the secretary of silence. The pattern scattered on the ground by the sunlight through the trees is called a shadow leaf. It is a glimpse of memory, a draft of premonition yet to be told, to inscribe on something that flows, to carve it without defying time. It is not a fixation, not a solidification, but a technique of entrusting everything to a moment and capturing that moment as if it were an ice crystal. The shadow leaf blurs, dances, and eventually plucks the shadow leaf, the act of exposing it to the light in an undefined state. As soon as it is exposed, it becomes an icicle of frozen meaning that penetrates deep into the heart and eventually internalizes and becomes a part of oneself. A silent letter for someone else written in the shadow of a leaf. The inner observer's gaze, as if capturing the invisible veins of the leaf on the glass plate of the soul, inscribes the shadows of the flux without congratulating or congratulating just as they are. This Nagareki is not a passive record. It is an attunement to the minute vibrations and unique frequencies of each shadow leaf. It is an activity that precipitates in the depths of the psyche a chance encounter in which the shadow is recognized as a shadow. Eventually, the solution reaches saturation point, and the accumulated shadow record quietly but irreversibly begins a phase transition. It is a leap from disorder to order, crystallization, in which once elusive ideas are transformed into luminous structures. The miracle of the intangible ether precipitating as a polyhedron in accordance with the laws of geometric beauty. The crystallized shadow leaves are no longer mere traces of memories. It has transparent ridges that penetrate the past and the future, and when it receives light, it radiates a spectrum of meaning contained within it like a prism. Each crystalline surface reflects the truth from a different angle, a paradox in which the ephemeral reveals the most robust beauty. It stays because it flows, and it dwells in light because it is shadow. The shadow leaf, it is an adverb of light, a footnote to silence. When the past misreads the present and the future blooms as a fallacy, it finally touches its own absence in crystalline form. Transparent contradictions, cold fire, silent violence. A leafy flora, a shadowy reverberation. It is the breath of what is not, a twill woven by unborn memories. It is the faint light before recognition that twinkles on the back of all phenomena, the bubbles that drift in the cradle of meaning. This shadowy leaf is a meteoric record that dances and scatters at the critical point of existence. The secret of dissolving the veins of this shadowy leaf is not to burn its trajectory onto the glass plate of the soul, but to immerse oneself in it, becoming the trajectory itself. Shadow follows shadow, and shadow records shadow. The shadows follow the shadows, and the shadows inscribe the shadows. It is not a recollection, nor is it a prediction of the future. It is merely a passive, active imprint on the liquid layer of the psyche, where the shadow leaves flow and flow. The intangible wave suddenly acquires order and transforms into a luminous individual, an alchemical metamorphosis in which inevitable beauty precipitates from the crucible of chaos. Each shadow leaf abandons its former fluidity and becomes a part of the structure. The crystals are transparent and opaque. While allowing light to pass through, it is filled with infinite refraction, changing its aspect depending on the angle from which it is viewed. The multifacetedness of existence is condensed and fixed in motion. The shadowy leaves that are written down acquire the eternity of crystals, a transparent blade piercing the past and the future. It simultaneously perceives the heat of the mystery of existence. This crystallized shadow leaf is the ultimate metaphor to be obtained at the extreme north of language. The pale blue tone that is frozen like a secret quotation leaps over the frame of common sense and twists the limits of existence.